Emily Ehman here for the Big Ten Network. The college gymnastics season just kicked off, so I decided to catch up with some of the best in the sport. Michael Jaroh and Matt Cormier from Penn State are with me. Guys, congrats on great starts this season. Matt, I saw you on high bar during the first week of competition, and Michael, you placed first on the rings and helped Penn State take the title this past weekend. Now that the season's kind of ramping up again, how does it feel to get back on the mat and compete?
You want to go first?
Yeah. So Mike's been having a little bit of in and out of the gym stuff with having COVID and concussion and everything. But I've been going at it from the start of the season, and I'm definitely feeling some effects of the competing every weekend is kind of wearing down the body. But I'm excited to get back out there this weekend, and eventually a couple weeks from now we'll get some rest, and I'm gonna attack it.
Yeah, no, for me, it definitely feels good to be back in the competition scene. It was kind of scary being out at first, I hit my head. But yeah, it just feels awesome to compete again. This past weekend, honestly, I was talking to my girlfriend last night and I described it. I was like, I feel most like myself again now. Just to be able to be out there with my boys and screaming and competing, all the energy, it's awesome. So
yeah, you definitely know how to scream.
Yeah, I can definitely scream.
That was one thing I definitely wanted to ask about. I saw after pretty much every single routine you do, it's like you are so amped up. Are you like that all the time, Matt? Is he just constantly practice gym?
Sometimes you just hear a scream in the gym, you go, huh? And then you see Mike, stuck a dismount or something sick. I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah, man. I'll be in the gym, and if I do something cool, if someone does something cool, I just get so excited. I mean, I really just love gymnastics, and the feeling it gives me is really uncomparable to anything else I've ever done. I guess you could compare it to the only other sports I can really compare it to is maybe skateboarding, snowboarding. You learn a new trick, but it feels so good. It's crazy.
And when you're part of a team like that, it's not just you don't get just hyped for you. At the meet, when you hit your rings routine, we were in the crowd going crazy.
Everyone gets hyped. Yeah, no, it's you're happy for your accomplishments, and then you see a teammate accomplish something and they've been struggling. It's almost like you feel like you've done it too. In a sense, because everyone's helping everyone's teaching everyone different ways to do things, and it's a really cool bond we all have, and you really feel for them when they you can celebrate for them when they succeed, I guess.
Yeah, well, similar to you were saying, gymnastics is a sport where it's very skill based. So you either hit or you miss it. So when you see someone working day in and day out on something and they hit it and it just looks so good, I can see how you just get absolutely hype. I kind of want to switch gears. I feel like it's safe to assume you guys are probably pretty dialed into the Olympics every year, which I know happened a few months ago. When you guys watch, how much of it is pure entertainment for you? And then how much is it actually about kind of learning?
Wow, that's a good question. You can go first.
I know. So this past one, all the live stuff was happening at 5:36 my time. And I was back in Boston at the time. So I was like, well, time to get up. So I would wake up at 5:45, make my cup of coffee, go downstairs, watch some gymnastics, and then my parents were like, "Why are you screaming at 6 a.m?" I go, "This because I'm so hyped." So in that point, it is entertainment. But then, so I think watching live for me is definitely entertainment. But I do a lot of retroactive watching, so I either watch myself or watch videos of past world championships or something to kind of study certain techniques on how to get better at certain things.
Yeah, I feel for me, a lot of it was just it was a lot of entertainment, a lot of really just pure motivation to be wow, I'm a little behind for where I want to be, but it just pushes you to be okay, I can do that though. If these guys are doing that, I can do that too. And you learn from them just the kind of people they are. It's really about having character, attitude, gratitude, all those things are super important in gymnastics. You don't see any high level gymnasts that are kind of low lifes or doing things that are bad, because you really just can't be a good gymnast if you're like that. So it's definitely entertainment and a lot of education at the same time. So
Going, Michael, to you first. How old were both of you guys when you started? And then what was your earliest memory in the gym?
so I started gymnastics when I was 6, like 6.5, I guess. Me and my sister started at the same time. I have a twin sister, and she was in her class. She was doing it, having fun. And I remember I walked in the gym. I like looked back. I saw these people like doing these crazy things, and I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I want to do this. And I didn't join my class at first. And then I remember my coach, my first ever rec coach, like came out to me, and he was like trying to talk me into it. He couldn't talk me into it. My mom couldn't talk me into it. My sister couldn't talk me into it. But his wife actually like just like grabbed my hand, and she was like, come on, we're going. And I walked back there. I wouldn't take my shoes off because I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then I think we were doing like backwards rolls down like a wedge mat. And I did one, and then I took my shoes off immediately. And I was like, okay. I was like, I love this.
I'm
like,
locked
ready to
in
go.
now.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like 3 years old, and I got invited to like some birthday party
Yeah.
at like a gym.
Classic.
Classic, right? And one of the coaches went up to my parents, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you should. It's pretty good. You should just try it." So they just put me in classes or whatever. And I mean, I was 3, so I don't really remember that at all. But a couple of years go by, and honestly, the earliest thing I remember was I was also in like baseball when I was like 6. You're a kid, you just do a bunch of different things. My parents were like, okay, so with this baseball practice, you can't go to gymnastics on like Wednesdays because like it interferes. And I was like, oh, I can't play baseball then. It was only gymnastics from 6 years old on. So
yes, yeah, that's when I quit all my sports too. My parents had that conversation with me too. They're like, yeah, you kind of have to like pick a sport if you really want to be good at it. And I was like, yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. Like, I love gymnastics. The other sports, like, don't get me wrong, I have respect for all the other sports, like, especially at the elite level. Like, every sport is extremely difficult. But gymnastics, there's constant challenges to like learn new things. And even when you think you've learned it, you probably haven't, and you can still get better at it. So that was like really cool to me, that it was like a constant, like you were doing something different, I guess, every time. It wasn't like you're just kicking a ball or like doing the same thing every day. That just kind of got boring to me. So I don't know. That's why I like gymnastics. So.
Yeah, well, the time commitment too, like you guys were talking about, it's so different for gymnastics than other sports.
Yeah.
Like, you have so many different events you have to focus on. It's not like you go to practice for an hour, kick a ball around, and then you can leave. You got to really dial in on everything on different days. Like, if you want to be an elite gymnast, you gotta hit it hard early.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's like, I know, I mean, I homeschooled my senior year just for gymnastics because I was already training in the mornings before school. And I was taking a couple online classes so I could do that, so I didn't have to be at school on the certain days. But then it got to be a little too much, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be done with this whole school thing and do online school and just train as much as I can. So
yeah, I remember I actually used to do gymnastics when I was little. I got to level, I think it was 8, and we started doing over giants on bars and then back ducks on beams. And I was like, I'm tapping out. I was so freaked out. I remember just being so scared up there, like right above the pit doing giants. I climbed back down. I was like, absolutely not. I want to know if there were any skills that just freaked either of you out when you started learning them.
Yo, there's so many. Yo, I was scared of giants too. That's the thing.
Like, they don't make sense. It's like, how is that possible?
I mean, when you're learning them, yeah, it feels like that. And that's how everything feels. It's like how like you get frustrated. Sometimes skills come easy. For me, I know like when I was level 7, I didn't compete high bar or floor for like the first half of the season because I was so scared of the events. Like I didn't want to do a backflip on floor. I didn't want to do back tuck. And then high bar, I was like terrified of like doing a pirouette and a giant flyway. No way, bro. Like
I
that
struggled
was,
with the flyway.
dude. I didn't even. I actually didn't even compete the actual routine. Once I started competing, I just jumped off the bar. And I was like, yep. Yep, that's good. Yeah.
The one thing that it did take me a while was the flyway, but I don't know why. When I was a kid, I was kind of a knucklehead, so I just decided like I would not be scared of anything ever. So I was trying flyaways, and I would just like smack my shins on the bar, like, and then I started trying giants like on the girls' bar, no grips. Like I have no idea what I was doing, and I don't know, somehow I managed it, but
Yeah.
it kind of just like I cracked my head open once, and then I don't know. I never really had like really bad fears in gymnastics. I get like, I mean, still now, like when I'm doing something I haven't done before, I get like nervous, like a little heartbeat, but that's the fun part.
Yeah. And like I was talking to one of my old teammates about this the other day about gymnastics, and like when you're learning a new skill, it's like a perfect way to describe gymnastics. You're doing something, and for some reason that time that you did it, it worked out. You don't know how, because it just happened to work out that time, and like the stars aligned something. You're like, whoa, like how did that? I don't know. It's crazy. It's so cool though. So
I feel like you guys have to kind of have that gene where fear doesn't exactly register like it does in one person. Because watching you guys do that stuff, no chance, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like most gymnasts are kind of adrenaline junkies. Like it's like a huge thing like I need in my life. If I didn't have gymnastics, I'd be bouncing off the walls, probably surfing, doing something crazy, because like I don't know, it's just something I need. So
first time I did my handspring was after I watched Spider-Man 3.
You were like, yeah,
I was at home
with
my babysitter, and I just did it. And then the babysitter was like, he just did it back handspring. My mom was like, he can't do that. And then I did it again.
Yo, that's wild.
Inspired by Spider-Man. I love it.
That's crazy.
Well, outside of the sport, I know you talked about some of the hobbies you have, but so what are you into? Snowboarding, skateboarding, what is it?
So I love skateboarding, and like that was like a huge outlet for me outside of the gym, because especially once I was homeschooled, I didn't really hang out with people a lot. I would kind of like, I'd sit in my room, I'd make TikToks, I'd play with my Rubik's Cube. And then I would just go out and skate for like, especially when quarantine happened, like that beginning of 2020 when no one could do anything. I'd go outside, I'd skate for like 6 hours a day, and just my legs would be so sore, but I didn't really care, because I was like, yeah, this is like, it feels good. It's like a freeing feeling. So.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the TikTok aspect of it. I mean, obviously you're majorly famous on TikTok. You have a huge following. Have you always been comfortable in front of a camera? Is that something that you kind of developed over time?
So I remember like when I was in middle school, I like would post on social media. It wasn't like something I considered really like doing or like being like a social media person, but that was like around the time Vine was a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in 8th grade. There was all these Viners, and people started comparing me to Cameron Dallas. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I remember we had to write letters to our senior year self. And I put in there like how many followers I had on every social media I had. And I was like, okay, like maybe I can do this. So I kind of just like studied what they did, and then just started filming. Really, that's all it is. You film like 3 to 5 videos a day, you post them, take pictures multiple times a week, post them on Instagram, and then it'll work. It literally can work out for anyone. There's so many people out there. You'll find people that like you and people that want to listen to you. So it's like, as long as you're posting and being consistent, you'll find a fan base. It's when you're not that people are like, why am I not getting followers? It's like, yo, you posted one video for like a couple weeks. Like, that's why.
How did you study this? Like, did you read some kind of TikTok, how to do it book? Like, did you talk to people? Did you just kind of observe?
Well, so how I started TikTok, actually, one of my teammates was like, this was when I was homeschooled. It was like December 2018. This is my first year being homeschooled. Super bored. He was also homeschooled. He lived in like Ohio. I lived in Michigan. And he was like, we would always just talk to each other. He was like, yo, Mike, you need to get on TikTok. Like, this app is so much fun. And I was like, nah, bro. Like, Instagram's my jam. Like, I don't need TikTok. That stuff's weird. And then like a day later, I downloaded it. And I was like, I made like 5 videos that day because I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty funny. And then he got like 500 views. I was like, whoa, like hold on. Like he's getting 500 views right now. And then like probably a week later, not even a week, probably like a couple days later, I got like 600 views. And I was like, oh, like look at me go. And then like within the first week, I had like 10,000 followers. Second week, I had already surpassed my Instagram following. And I was like, holy, like this could really be something. Within the first month, I had 100K. And then at that point, I like realized I was kind of like, okay, I didn't even really realize. I was like, my goal is to one day have 1 million followers, maybe in like 5 years, 6 years. And I think I hit 1 million within like 7 months. And I didn't even expect that at all. I was just having fun, making videos, enjoying my life, kind of just sharing myself with everyone. So it was cool. It was really awesome.
Well, it's cool too, because you kind of give a behind the scenes look into the gym and into some of the skills you do. Matt, does he rope you guys into stuff like all the time?
Yeah. There would be sometimes last year in the dorms where Matt, make this TikTok with me.
Yo, you're in my you're like at least
I was the background. I was the background of a lot of them. You know, just sitting playing my computer.
We make like dancing videos in the gym and stuff.
Oh yeah, those are one of my favorites. The one where Tony was like that on the that was good.
No,
it's a very tasteful amount of TikTok in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
As much as you would want. I love it. I want to know for like the dancing ones, from start to finish, the time you learn the dance, the time you post a TikTok, how much time does that take?
Yo, it depends. It could be like 5 minutes. You get like between first and 10th try, or I could be thinking I knew the dance. And then like 2 hours later, I look at my first draft and I'm like, oh my God, how could I ever think I would have posted that? And then like, oh, it could take days sometimes if you're dancing. Like, I don't know. Dancing's hard.
I'm bad at dancing, but
yeah,
I own it.
He owns it though.
If you dance with confidence, it's good enough.
I mean,
you just gotta act like you know what you're doing, and then you're good.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, that's true. People sometimes like seeing bad dancing.
I'm the TikTok star here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, last thing I want to finish up with here, kind of a rapid fire TikTok edition. So first thing, what is the favorite TikTok that you've ever made?
Oh, favorite TikTok. Oh, easy. I don't know when I posted summer 2020. I dropped my skateboard, did a kickflip, and then I was at my teammate's dad's gym. He had the door open for me, and then my other friend was filming, sprinted into the gym, and I don't know what I did a vault. I just sprinted into the gym, stood there, they followed me, and then I did a vault. I was like kind of combining my two favorite things in life. So it was like purely me, and I loved filming it. So I don't know. That was definitely my favorite one.
Sounds like a good one. Okay, favorite TikTok trend right now?
Oh, I know my favorite.
Go ahead.
It's a pretty niche one, but it's like an audio with like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like the Vanessa or Freddy, you're supposed to be on Vanessa, and then there's just like 50 different audios, and you never know which one's gonna be.
Oh, it's like in like you're like surprised or something.
Vanessa, I'm a material girl. Like,
dang. I haven't really been looking. So my For You page isn't like filled with a bunch of trends. It's more like a bunch of motivation and just like more like the learning side of TikTok, which is interesting because I used to always see the trends. So I don't even really personally, I don't even know a trend right now, which is kind of bad because I'm a TikTok. But I'll find one.
All right. Last thing here, favorite person to follow on TikTok?
Dang.
My favorite is Mike.
Easy.
Oh shoot. This is so tough, bro.
Matt Cormier.
No, man, bro. Yo, I gotta say Ian Gunther. He's a gymnast over at Stanford, and he's like reached out to me a couple times about TikTok, and he's like, how do I do this? I'm like, dude, just do it. Like, you can do it. You're a smart kid. Your content's good already. He makes a lot of gymnastics content. He's posting about like the history of gymnastics, explaining it. And it's kind of like a really awesome like page of just full of gymnastics. And I love watching his videos. So
well, definitely,
really awesome.
definitely check that one out. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Good luck this weekend and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much.